Prudential Committee. I'm going to call the meeting to order at this point. Roll call, Mark Lynch here.
Seth Burdick present.
Tom Apple present.
Frank Brown present.
Charlie Yeager present.
Ryan Willett present.
I would ask that all who are able rise and pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I didn't put public comment at the beginning of the meeting, but we're happy to hear any public comment that anyone has.
Don't have any public.
Okay. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes, which Ryan circulated. Those are the meeting minutes from November 25th, 2025. I would move to approve those draft meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. We also have meeting minutes for the November 25th, 2025 Prudential Committee executive session part of that meeting. I move that those be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those meeting minutes are approved. Let's see.
Just a quick note, speaking for myself, I find the minutes, have been excellent recently.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like very good, succinct, but comprehensive summaries, which is what they're supposed to be.
Yep.
So terrific. Then just a very brief update and one item of business decision. I don't think any of this needs to be in executive session. The contract has now been officially signed between the Katuitt Fire District by and through its Prudential Committee and Leftfield LLC. We have also approved what we'll call the continuing services contract with Icon Architecture, which is the entity that performed the feasibility study. That is currently in the hands of our counsel, Mark Boudreau, who has suggested that amending the original feasibility study contract to include the new scope of services and pricing would be the most direct way to do that. So I sent that to him. I put it on my list to follow up with him, but I don't think that needs any. We don't need to do anything with it right now. I see Kevin Sullivan, Joe Sullivan, and Kayla Gallo from our OPM left field are here. There's, I think, a couple items of status that they can tell us about. I'm particularly thinking about the draft timeline that we received and their thoughts about that, and then also some discussion and hopefully decision on the hazardous material oversight contractor. If you guys will recall that we took the assessment away from Icon Architecture and we're looking for an entity to do the assessment. That is, how much is this going to cost? What's the scope? and the monitoring, which are two separate items. And with that, I'll turn it over to Lafayette.
Thanks, Mark. First of all, Kayla, do you want to go over the timelines first, and then I can get into UEC?
Yeah. So, Mark, what I had sent you previously, brings us into an early July end date, to be completely closed out. We had met with, Paul from Icon, I think it was last week. And he's gonna circle back with Tig and Bond, who is their consultant, and try to bring those dates in. I have not gotten an update yet, from him. So we're hoping to set up a meeting to meet directly with Tig and Bond so that we can try to bring the schedule in. But worst case scenario, what I had sent you with us ending in July is what we're looking at. But we also have been in the process of trying to get that first assessment done for the site assessment, the topography. And Paul had said they can be on site as early as 12:15, if that is okay with you guys, just to get things going. And then we are still in the process of trying to find existing drawings, which would be able to cut the construction drawing, like the CD phase, down a lot.
Yeah,
that's
so
the
to
update.
just add on that a little bit, Mark, you typically in every district in town, the building department usually carries a original set of construction documents with any project within the continuity of whether it's public or private. I think what we're going to end up having to do is take a ride out and put to the building department to see if they have any existing floor plans or records of the existing school project. We just need the baseline drawings to be able to give to the architect, and it's going to streamline the process of him actually putting these construction documents together rather than having to do, complete layout measurement off of not only the survey, but some of the takeoffs that they need to do on the building themselves.
Are we having trouble getting those documents from the town?
Yes.
How come? Or what's the holdup? They're just not responsive?
No one knows where they are, who has them. So I think, a personal visit to the town hall is probably necessary to try to, meet with the building department and just kind of, put in a formal request or try to research them at that point. That's the biggest dilemma right now.
Do you think the school department facilities might have them?
I reached out to them. They don't have them, and I think it was Dan, I forget his last name. Mark, you had given me his contact. They didn't have them over there either. So
Dan
yeah,
Sanchez.
yes.
He's the director of DPW. And
Yep. They
the
didn't
building
have,
commissioner, Brian Florence might have them. I don't know if you spoke with him.
I did not, but I can reach out.
I mean, it shouldn't be a hard lift to try to find these documents. I mean, they had to have been permitted and they had to have, some type of architectural drawings submitted to the town in lieu of trying to build a school. So,
Yeah.
Okay, to the extent that we can help you on that, and of course Seth is a town councilor and can lean on people.
I definitely can. They'll respond to me right away, usually.
yeah, lean on them as much as you can.
I can call them tomorrow. I will.
Right.
Yeah, so Kayla, if you could just shoot out an email to Seth saying exactly what you're looking for and who you've spoken to,
Okay.
that would be great.
Yep. No problem.
Yep, just forward it along. And Mark, you have my cell phone. If you want to give me a call after you talk to them, that would be great.
Okay. The first item was, Icon wanted to get out to the property by December 15th, which we're all in favor of. What exactly does that relate to, though?
It's a topographical survey that's needed on the site. So when they provide the actual construction documents for demo, there's a baseline that they start out with.
Okay, because I have in my closet at home a big, 2 foot by 3 foot drawing of the, property subdivision. And of course, which has the building on it, of course, to the extent that that is what they need or are looking for.
It's a different, well, it's a different, I shouldn't say that. So the drawings, of what you just described is typically a site plan, of the
Yeah.
overall construction. It doesn't necessarily give you the, construction documents, foundation. So like part of what we're looking for, excuse me, is like foundation plans, floor plans of what size the slabs are, so that the drawings, when they put it out to bid, are comprehensive enough for any, demo contractor to look at it and say, okay, I have this much material I have to get rid of, and this is the content, and this is time and material it would take me to get rid of it.
Yeah, no,
The,
I
the,
understand.
the,
There's a detailed floor plan and then there's separately the site plan, right?
correct, yep.
I have site plan, a site plan, to the extent that that's helpful, let me know and.
All right, that'd be great. And so the topo will just basically give us a baseline of all of the, the heights and depressions throughout the site. So when we bring this back to original condition and do our plantings, we can actually let the contractor know this is where we started from. This is what you demoed. This is the material you have to bring in, and this is the topsoil that is needed for the planting aspect of it.
Got it. Kayla, you mentioned Tig and Bond. Refresh my recollection. They were the landscape architect consultants on the feasibility study.
Correct. They're contracted under Icon, so they're working directly with Icon for the site.
Great. Okay. I guess one final comment. I've made this to you guys too. The timing of the planting is, of course, critical to us.
Yep.
Just because it's going to grow a hell of a lot better, and you'll have a lot less, damaged and dead trees if it's done earlier. So, to the extent.
March 15th through June 15th, Mark, is our time. So.
All right. You'll go beat up appropriately on Icon, I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's been great, so far. And we've worked with him in the past. We've had some great discussions with him already. With any team, there's certain aspects that they're gonna, throw at us, and we're gonna have discussions about it. But we're all moving forward in the right direction.
Good. Well, we thought they did a good job on the feasibility study, so I'm
Yeah,
glad.
and they're gonna do a fantastic job with the demolition and closeout. So.
That's terrific. And then the last item, I guess, relates to this hazardous material. And I wanted you to kind of give the other two commissioners I think they understand the summary of where we are.
Yeah.
At least that's nodding. If you could just tell them a little bit about this company, why you would like to use them.
Sure.
What exactly they're going to be doing.
Thanks, Mark. So I provided a little bit of a bio related to the company, along with a lot of the projects that they've currently been working on. He started this firm back in 2001, and actually the first year he was in business, I literally was working for the Massachusetts State College Building Authority, and we used him for that particular project. He's a really on hands. Amar has been instrumental on not only identifying the hazmat aspect of it, but also putting together, critical schedules to have the abatement done, along with the oversight and management of it. So having worked with him over the number of years, I saw the cost implications that Icon had provided with their sub-consultant. So I took that scope of material, laid out a square footage for Amar to basically look at that particular building and then give us a level of effort and quality associated with that scope of work. And we ended up getting a significant less fee proposal from him to perform those services. And the beauty of it is I have having the relationship that we've had with him, we have the ability to try to push him to get in there sooner than later. As it was initially, he wasn't going to be able to get in there till January. Conversation on Thursday after I spoke to him, he's actually looking for the address and floor plans to hopefully get in there the early next week. Just do the preliminary testing of some of the locations if we approve everything that we move forward with. His staff is, they're well informed, they're licensed. He provides accurate documentation, and his closeout documentation is paramount. So I would highly recommend him for your project, especially this scope of project. In addition to that, we had just finished and we talk about this project up in Northbridge. He was essential. We actually knocked off almost 2.5 weeks of schedule, Kevin, would you say, based on his involvement with it? So if we're looking to get these plantings done, this is a group I would use. That's all I'm suggesting.
And my recollection was that you suggested that, if we go with them, we do it by way of having him be a subcontractor to left field.
Yeah, we could just do it as an ad service. We're not doing any markup on it. We're going to just take whatever his value of the contract is and just pass it through.
And at this point, we know that $10,000 is the amount for the assessment. We have penciled in a $50,000 amount for the monitoring, but as I understand that will depend on what the assessment.
Yeah, I mean, we held a value there for an allowance more than anything. Once he does his testing and evaluation, he'll be able to give us a little more comprehensive idea of what the monitoring will be needed. If there's a lot less material that has to be abated, then it's going to be a lot less money. But I don't, and I, personally feel an allowance of $50,000 is conservative, to say the least.
Meaning it will be less than that.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay. Any questions, comments from you guys?
Not for me.
Then I would move that we go forward with UAE as a subcontractor of left field, and that they put together the documentation, legal documentation for our review to reflect that.
That's a motion, right?
That's a motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. There you go.
No, I appreciate it. And any push you can get to find some existing drawings, and I don't care, they don't have to be the as-built drawings, they just have to be existing condition drawings, that's all.
I'm confident I can dig them up. Sometimes,
you
as you know, from dealing with municipalities, that their sense of time is different than.
I appreciate your effort in doing so. It's just going to be able us to put a little more pressure on Icon to get the drawings that much sooner and out to bid, so that we can get the plantings done in the growing season between March 15th and June 15th. So
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Anything else? For the good of the village? Nah. Let me ask Brian, have they finished the, repairing the potholes over there?
Yeah, here, they got that one done too.
That one done being okay. It is, that one done, just so the record is clear, we're referring to a couple of gigantic potholes in the parking lot at the school, which we understand we're working to demolish all that, but in the meantime, it was a bit of a safety hazard, and we decided to spend that money, which was, as I understand.
Mark, I got one other thing, Mark, I just wanted to bring up. I know we talked about the public outreach. I think now that we have the architect on board, while he's working through some of those incidental details, I think, after the holiday, we'd like to schedule at least maybe our first initial abutters meeting, just to let them know what's coming down the pike and meet the team that's actually working on it, so that, we take any of the animosity out, because once people stop poking around the site, that's when the questions start to come up. So.
Okay, and what would that involve? Like, we would schedule a public meeting and you guys would come and present, or?
Yeah, so I would request an abutters list. We usually go 500 feet around the perimeter and invite all of those people into a, info session more than anything. Between Kayla, myself, and Kevin, we would provide just some timelines and what our expectations are, and then let them ask some questions. The best thing you can do is get the questions out early, and it takes the steam out of anybody's, fight in the other direction. That's all.
That sounds terrific. I think I've mentioned to you that there are also people interested in weighing in on the plantings, and what that's gonna look like. I'm not sure that that's gonna be this meeting, but we do need to remain focused on that, and when we can do that, to give people a an opportunity to be heard on that topic.
Yeah, and in the background, as we get the drawings from Icon a little more complete, we'll put a budget together that'll be a little more identified once we have the hazmat identified and all of that. And we'll also put a cash flow together, so it may just make the fire commission district a little easier on what to expect as the money comes out.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Anything else from left field?
I
No.
have I have one
Got
other question. So Tag and Bond is gonna go and do their survey on the 15th. Is there anyone with the town that they need to check in on, or are they okay to just go on site?
I think they're okay just to go
Yeah.
on site. They don't need to go in the building, do they?
No.
Are
It's just a-
they going to be flying drones?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not
We'll
sure.
ask
We'll
that
check on
question.
that. We don't want to scare any neighbors.
Yeah.
So
And the other thing that Mark, they may want to do is they may take some shots, surveys of the outside of the foundations. They don't need to get in the buildings to do that, though.
Okay. And in that case, I think that it's okay for them just to appear and, answer questions for anyone who approaches, but as long as they don't go in the building, it's fine.
There you go.
yeah,
All
and
right.
we'll have a presence just to make sure that things run smoothly.
Good.
All right. That's all we have.
All right. Well, thank you. If there's nothing else from here, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Mark,
it is-
Mark, I'll put the amendment together and get it over to you as soon as I can.
Sounds good. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Great.
All right.
That clock is still running.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
guys.
See you soon.
Oh,